Is Sims 2 better than Sims 3 and Sims 4? Well, today we're gonna be looking a little bit into this because over the last a year or so I've been playing a lot of Sims 3, a lot of Sims 4, comparing them, but now I'm playing Sims 2 as well, so is it better than the other two games? Well, today we're gonna be looking specifically at cooking and pregnancy, so let's see which is better. So returning once again to Flapjack, and look at him, he has times of his life playing a game without the TV on. What a trooper. So he is already in a cooking career, so I decided to just try to progress it farther. And the first time we went to work, we actually got a promotion. Flapjack is a fast food shift manager. Joy of joys, instead of fixing food, you now fix problems. And I kind of think that in the last video I already got that promotion because I think I got demoted and then had to get this promotion back. But again, we're a fast food shift manager, so that's what it is. And in The Sims 2, the same like in The Sims 3 and 4, this is a rabbit hole job, so you just disappear. While in The Sims 3, you actually have to travel into the world and go into the restaurant. Here you just go into the car and leave for a day. In Sims 4, you just walk out into the void, but all of them are not very involved. Anyway, Flapjack in Sims 2 will become a chef, or go as far in the career as I can be bothered. So yeah, first thing, you can invite the friends to visit you after work, which is, I think it's kind of cool. You can hang around and stuff. And it does seem that in Sims 2, even though people were saying it's a more difficult game, I think the actual needs don't deteriorate that quickly after work, which means that you can still do stuff, which is kind of nice. Also, the big difference between Sims 3, 4, and 2 in this one is that there's no cooking career aspirations, so we will be just doing base cooking career without any additional goals or challenges, because that's just how the game is designed. The only form of challenges kind of come in from the wants, but a lot of the wants don't really go on to the cooking skill or cooking aspiration or anything like that. I was trying to find good aspiration that involves any cooking, but it's just not there in the game, or I couldn't find it anyway. I know there is a hidden grilled cheese one, but that's just grilled cheese. I wanted to like have a general cooking one, but I couldn't really find one. Anyway, it's the cooking career, so we need to cook. And the cooking animation in Sims 2 are nice. They remind me a lot of the ones in The Sims 3, though it does seem that generally you do have less failure possibility in Sims 2 than Sims 3 or 4. I have never seemed to like burn my kitchen down. I think you can burn like the food if you're low level and stuff like that, but I've never burned the kitchen down. So I don't know if I'm just lucky or if it's just less likely to happen in The Sims 2. When in Sims 3, first cook is almost always fire. Comparing the animations, I do think Sims 2 and Sims 3 win over Sims 4, but I like all of them, really. Anyway, Sims 2 Flapjack's days were very simple. He got up, took money from his money tree, played some video games, went to the toilet, and then had some leftovers. So, interestingly, the leftovers actually keep quite long, until they run out, it seems. So, that is a nice feature. I know it's more realistic if they expire, but I like the fact that I don't have to worry about cooking that much. When it comes to advancing in your career, so it does depend seemingly on your mood, or your Sims mood, as well as their skills. But their skills is not only cooking skills, but it seems logic and creativity as well, which does make sense. So you have to advance other things as well as you go on. So here I was lacking logic, so we had to get Flapjack something logical to do. Chessboard, because playing alone on a chessboard definitely makes you more logical. Hell yeah. Anyway, well, I was trying to perfect my chess game. I got a call. Apparently, you can get like magazines that are based on your Sims likes and dislikes. So I got a gaming magazine subscription. So that's cool. Remember those old days when you used to order magazines and stuff? Crazy. Anyway, after that, I went back to some chess gaming, and I managed to level up my skill just before the work, so that's awesome. And then we just had to prepare for work, some shower, getting some more money from our money tree, and chilling for a while, because the comfort seems to be a big part of this, and they sometimes have to lounge on a sofa, which, you know what, that's realistic. I kind of think this should go back to Sims 5, that we should have comfort skill back. Then finally, the carpool arrived, and look at that junk, but we're gonna level up in career and be picked up by a cooler car, I know it. And yeah, we actually did not get a promotion this time, so that's a bummer. It's kind of harder, I feel, to sense what when you will actually get the promotion in Sims 2, which actually is a little bit more realistic. And then I try to find a career, or try to find an aspiration that kind of works more with the cooking skill, but I'm struggling, not gonna lie. But either or, we're just have to work, a little bit tired, so we hang out with our friend in the bathroom for some reason. Then I realized, you know, we haven't seen our girlfriend in a while, so yeah, we are actually in a relationship somewhat. We went on a date and everything with Brandy, so I decided to invite her, so, you know, we can work on our romance a little bit, because I think, you know what, it's leading somewhere, I feel. It's leading somewhere. She rushed into the house, throwing up, and then immediately we went into the bathroom to make out with her after she thrown up. You know what? I'm not gonna judge Flapjack and Brandy too much, but that's not what I would personally choose to do, but it's down to them. Then after making out in the bathroom, she left because it was late. So yeah, great time, Brandy. I loved it. And it seems her being sick clogged my toilet, which is great. She must have been throwing up something very chunky, bro. Anyway, another day, another try on different aspirations to see if we can get something cooking related. We couldn't, but it was snowing, which is nice. And then we got back from work when we didn't get a promotion again. Great. Our needs were quite good, so in the morning, after all night of gaming, I invited Brandy over again because, again, we have to work on that relationship. I think she is the one. So I decided, you know, to make out a little bit, and then, potentially, for the first time, woohoo with Brandy. Hell yeah!
Yeah! Yeah.
We did it. Since Flapjack is both a chef and a gentleman, he decided to make some breakfast. So we had some grilled cheese and we talk about movies and stuff in our underwear. Love that for us. Love that for us so much. But then someone called, so we talked a little bit. And yeah, Brandy stayed to hang out a little bit, but I unfortunately had to leave her to go to work. Work just has to happen. But then, yes, I got promoted to host. If you never see another burger again, it'll be too soon. Now you're out of the kitchen, sitting people and managing tables in a restaurant where people expect real food for the prices they're paying. Keep your eyes open and your smile painted on as you start learning about the industry. It's a dog-eat-food world out there and you'll want to be well prepared. Flapjack now works from 10 AM to 4 PM, which is quite of a stir because we were working actually later shifts. And it starts immediately and we brought home 242, which is not that much, but we got bonus of 484, which is quite nice. Since we were working early, I wanted to get his all of his needs up, so we got him to have a little chef salad and then clean up the house a little bit and go to bed straight away because, again, he needs to get more promotion, so we need to get him in a good mood. 6 AM gaming sesh, that's what Flapjack loves the most. So for a while nothing happened until we finally got another promotion. This time we were promoted to a waiter. If you thought hosting was bad, just try waiting tables. This is a promotion? You'd better believe it. Be prepared to think on your feet, outwit and impress your often crafty customers in pursuit of the almighty tip. All while wearing a snazzy uniform and those ubiquitous pieces of flair. So now we're working from 2 PM to 7 PM and we got bonus of 616 bucks. That's not too bad. So yeah, at this point I realized there's not that much to offer in the cooking career. Our days were just leveling up those skills, hanging out with Brandy, and then just trying to get more promotion. It was all the same thing over and over, realistically. So it's quite similar to the one in The Sims 3 or 4. I think in all of the 3 games, there isn't that much in that career. Honestly, it's a very basic one. As such, I decided to now focus on the relationship aspect.
Sepole, buena nil sebo. Hum clear na.
Oh, oh, Father Silo. Oh, Revivo.
And we could engage! Awesome! And next step was for Brandy to move in. It actually turned out that she has kids, but I was like, okay, let the kids stay on their own. They're old enough, right? So we don't have space, so we decided to just move in on our own. I think her husband was no longer with us. I am not sure, but on her family tree it wasn't showing like he was like grayed out, so I think he is no longer with us. She did not have any job, so I got her a business career, because why not? At this point, I wasn't really planning to do comparison of pregnancies in Sims 3 and 4 to Sims 2, but then one night Brandy woke up and she was pregnant. And the thing is, I don't believe it at Flapjacks, because she was throwing up earlier before like they woohooed at all, and I think this was because she was pregnant. So I was trying to find a way to tell him, and I think they did in the end in the interaction when she told him about pregnancy. He seemed happy about it, so I don't know if he didn't know it wasn't his child. It's hard to say. I don't know what the emotions were there. When it comes to pregnancy, to compare them to Sims 3 and 4, I do feel that the actual, like, all of the needs deteriorate so much quicker in Sims 2 for a pregnant lady. Definitely, they're much more hungry, and the comfort goes down very quickly. And she did sleep most of the time. So I do feel that pregnancy is a little more intense in Sims 2. Also, you get the family leave like straight away as well, so I just got her to just chill at home, maybe just like cook food and stuff, because actually her cooking skill was quite high. With Flapjack's cooking schedule and with Brandy's lack of like energy, they haven't really seen each other much because she was usually asleep, so I was trying to get them to interact at least a little bit, like him filling the tummy and stuff like that. Just a little bit, you know, to keep up the romance, keep up the you know, the closeness. And then it finally happened. Yes, baby came out. Waffles, of course, that's the name. And yeah, we had to reject the house a little bit. And that means we have a baby now, and we could potentially compare babies in The Sims 3, Sims 4, and Sims 2 now, which might be interesting, but we'll see about that. But yeah, he seems to like the baby. And I was just trying to make the house or the room look quite aesthetic, because environment is the most annoying of the needs in this game. I don't like it, but yeah. The thing is, he got a little bit annoyed. It does seem that he was like, he had this broken lock, which I think it maybe he's thinking that she was, you know, she wasn't quite loyal to him. I don't know, but I think he was a little bit mad about that. So I went shopping, and I like shopping for groceries. I think in Sims 2 is so much better than Sims 3 because you just go in the rabbit hole. Here, actually, you go around with their little basket and everything. So I did like that. And I remembered that you can also buy video games. So I got them Spore, which I always like that they made like the actual games that EA made into The Sims. I think that was also fun. But that's basically it. That's what happened here. So, is Sims 2 pregnancies and cooking skill better, or cooking career better than Sims 3 or 4? No. Honestly, this is the most comparable, I think, aspect of all three games. The cooking, I think Sims 2 and 3 is better than Sims 4 just because of the animations. I do feel that it is not as dangerous as it is in The Sims 2 than it is in Sims 3 and 4 because I never had a kitchen fire. And I think the careers is just a little bit boring because it's the same thing over and over again. Sims 4 does have the career like events and like aspirations, so that makes it a little bit more, I think, involved. The aspiration helps a lot. Sims 3 aspirations are boring because the same thing over and over again, or just like get the highest aspiration level or highest career level and stuff like that. Well, in The Sims 4, there's different tiers and you have to do different things, and I think that was interesting. And you have the daily task. So I think The Sims 4 is overall the most involved, but the cooking feels best in Sims 2 and 3. When it comes to pregnancies, it's all the same, realistically. The only thing I would say The Sims 2 has over the other ones is I think there is much more impact on your sim when it comes to their needs when they're pregnant. I think in Sims 3 and 4, it doesn't really feel much that they're pregnant. They have some cravings or things like that, but there's not much of it. Well, here, it seriously impacted Brandy's needs, which means she was like all the time sleeping and had to eat much more food. And I thought that was more interesting. I also love the little animations that they do, the little cutscenes, and I think they should come back in next Sims because I think it's so cute, the little animation rather than just child appearing out of nowhere. There's no hospital in Sims 2 to go to. It seems you just give birth in the house, so we can't really compare that. But that cutscene I think alone makes it worth it. That is the Sims 2 versus Sims 3 versus Sims 4 pregnancy and cooking. Who do you think did it best? I honestly think it's comparable for all of them. The careers and aspirations are slightly more involved in Sims 4, but the execution of the actual cooking and pregnancy is better in the 2 and 3. So I think all have their benefits and their negatives, but let me know which one do you like the best? And what else should we compare? Should we do a comparison of the babies now with Sims 3, 4, and 2 now? Should we do that? Well, let me know. There's another big video coming, and it might be late. It might not be coming out next week, maybe in 2 weeks. But it's going to be a big one. So stay tuned, and I shall see you next time. Oh, and like it if you like this video. Dislike it if you don't like the video, and share with your enemy if you want them to suffer as well. And yeah, I see you next time.